our ships may be made fast to their cleats. The lights may be off in our museum's galleries. It may be some time still before our Berkeley's piano may see docent meetings, gatherings of fellow crew, even volunteer recognitions. But one thing, through all of this, remains true. If it wasn't for you volunteers, we wouldn't be here.
Thank you for all you do.
Hi, my name is Jim Davis, and thank you all for the volunteer work that you've done through the years and for the volunteer work that we're doing now since we're able to have you back on property. And I hope to be sailing with you all soon.
Hey, it's Marge from Paint with Marge on Sunday. And I miss all of you, and I can't wait till everything gets back to normal and we're all working together again. Without you guys, we'd be sunk, literally. Thank you.
My name is John Serbian, and I'd like to thank you as well. We can't really do it without you. And, you know, we're all one ship and one crew, and without you guys, we couldn't pull it off. So thanks a lot, and hope to see you soon.
From my heart, I want to thank all the volunteers that come and help the museum, because I can't do it. We can't do it without you. So we can't wait for you all come back in force. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. Here we are in the library and the collections office of the Maritime Museum. This is your library, this is your collection. It's part of your maritime memory that we gather here and preserve for future generations. Coming on board, it's kind of like going on board the Murray Celeste. The computers are still warm, there's still books open on the desk, there's still plenty of stuff to be incorporated into the collection. And this is a roundabout way of saying that we do miss you, especially the library volunteers, the collections volunteers, the ship modelers who contribute so much to this museum. And also remind you that there's plenty of work. When we can get back together safely, there's plenty of work for you to do. But I just want to extend a very heartfelt thank you for the hours, months, years of work you have done for this museum, and we look forward to having you back with us very, very soon. Thank you.
Spasiba!
I just want to say I really appreciate all of our volunteers. They've really been sticking with us. We've gone through some tough times here, and you know, we just wouldn't be a museum without you. And I've thought that for the last 42 plus years I've been working here. It would not exist without our volunteers. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And I know how much a lot of you want to come back here and are anxious to do that. We're anxious to have you come back. So hang in there, we'll get there soon. Thanks again for all that you do.
Hi, I'm James Thayer.
Hello, good morning, I'm Ray Stewart. I've been with the museum for quite a while here. Really enjoy sailing around here and miss all you guys. Talk to you later.
Chuck McGoey.
I'm the other Ray.
Jack Pinero, happy to get back out on the water when we can.
Ahoy, I'm Alan Glick, and looking forward to being with you all again soon.
Carl Scragg, I'm looking forward to sailing again.
So all of us are the captains here, and it's our real privilege to be able to sail with those of you who sail with us regularly on our ships as volunteers. And we obviously couldn't get to go out and do what we like to do without you. But one of the best parts of it is just getting to sail with you. And we're all, as you know, looking forward to sailing with you again.
Like the lights shining on our star, you have all been our beacons of hope during these difficult times. And now, dear volunteers, it's time that we honor you.
Hi, my name's David, and just like you, I volunteer at the Maritime Museum. But, you know, I can't pull in big ropes, and I hate to varnish, so I volunteer my hours being on the board. I guess I'm now in my 7th year on the board. But I'm a finance guy, so they always put me on the finance committee. So I wanted to give you a perspective of what the volunteers mean to, from a finance viewpoint, to the Maritime Museum. So last year, we all volunteered 51,000 hours. Now, $25 an hour, which is the average wage for a skilled worker in California, that's a total of over $1.3 million compared to our total budget, which is $5.5 million. So you can see how meaningful that is. But it's a lot more than that. The folks who have parties at the museum, who come out on the ships, who buy tickets at the gate, they don't come to see the finance committee, they don't come to see the board. They come to see the ships and the exhibits that you folks, we all maintain and keep up to date and provide the visitor experience. So from that point of view, the volunteers really are the museum. And I salute you. Thank you so very much.
To salute those of you who have reached our various levels of recognition, come on a walk through time with me as I read through all of your names, starting with level 50. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for all that you've done. 50 hours. Jonathan Allen, Dan Baker, Ann Beeson, Bill Dabbs, Charlotte Davey, Dean Dines, Wes Demarest, Jay Eggert, Claire Galley, Anita Gentry, June Goslin, Gary Gold, Bob Harrison, Michael Howley, Michael Jones, Bailey Jorgensen, John Kelly, Mike Korn, Damar Lamel, Jay McMaster, Peggy Mataris, William Pfeiffer, Alex Roll, Tyler Scarvata, and Denny Wolf. "100 hours. Edward Anelli, Dan Baker, Ian Beeson, John Breen, Jack Buckley, Michael Angelo Camacho, James Condon, Bill Dabbs, Wes Demarest, Jay Eggert, Mark Fisher, Thomas Godzalla, Anita Gentry, Bob Harrison, Michael Howley, Bailey Jorgensen, John Kelly, Damar Lamel, John McAlpine, Adam Marshall, Peggy Mataris, Paul Meal, Manish Parikh, Mark Pearson, Sarah Pearson, James Pitt, Daniel Rodriguez, Tyler Scarvata, and Denny Wolf. "250 hours. Edward Anelli, Ian Beeson, Rich Bloom, John Breen, Sean Bunting, Stephen Day, Karen Day Peralta, Wes Demarest, Thomas Godzalla, Anita Gentry, Ken Golden, Bob Harrison, Shane Jost, John Kelly, Peter Larry, MJ Moran, Jim Nelson, Joan Nelson, James Pitt, Adrian Roberts, Max Solonenko, Robert Steele, Mitchell Summers, Gary Thornton, Ian Urquhart, John Walsh, Isaac Wills, Kimberly Wilson, and Richard Wilson. "500 hours. Jim Boydston, Sean Bunting, Lewis Cohen, Michael Grimes, Brooks Hannon, John Kelly, James Crossler, Linda Schick, Albert Tamayo, David Waters, Isaac Wills, Kimberly Wilson, and Richard Wilson. "1,000 hours. Kearney Bennett, Ann Lampkin, Joshua Lynch, Mark Schlesinger, John Walter, and Richard Wilson. 1,500 hours. Bob Brown, Jim Cassidy, Margaret Clark, Dewart Hook, John Martin, and Joseph Pieri. "2,000 hours. Jeffrey Burton, Mike Garman, Seth Honig, David Litzow, and Bob Siegmiller. 2,500 hours. Bert Burley, Rick Cohen, Sally Haggerty, Bob Knapp, Penny Lingo, Greg Moore, Denny Sheridan, and Benny Valou. "3,000 Hours." Irene Batch, Bert Burley, Robert Camp, Terrence Goodbody, Kenneth Kaltoff, Michael Keane, Joe Keown, Sharon Klug, Mike Lingo, Greg Moore, and John Sauvageau. 5,000 Hours. Martin Castle, Chester Gannett, Bob Kay, Stephen Lend, Don Lochner, Daniel McNaughton, and Tom Shipman. Coming in at 10,502 hours, David Clark has joined our 10,000 plus hours club. From being a valued member of crew to sharing your expansive span of knowledge with all of us, thank you for all of your contributions. Swinging in at 13,609 hours is John Curley. Curley, your dedication to the museum takes us to new heights. Thank you for all of the care you have provided our fleet. The love of our ships is evident and inspires us all. Here, at 15,745 hours, we have our dear Bob Duncan. Bob, we love you so much that a few of us members on staff wanted to say a couple of words to honor you.
What about Bob? Bob is one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met. He is so good. When people come into the museum, he makes time to stop what he's doing, talk to them. He's fascinating. He tells things about his time in the military. He tells things about the ships. He tells things about all of his models. He's very patient. He's just a really kind, all-round guy that we would just miss if he wasn't around the museum.
Bob's kind of the heart of the museum when you enter, and he's there with a smile on, and he's working on something that gets the public interested, and he's also very nice to the staff. I've known him for a really long time, and he's had a lot of careers. He's doing really good for an old guy, and he's kind of a role model for the rest of us.
Hey Bob, Jude and I wanted to just tell you that we're thinking about you during this time, and we're both looking forward to be back at the museum with you so we can see you doing what you love to do best.
Visiting you at the museum has always been the highlight of my day, so make sure to take care so we can see you soon.
Bye.
And now, at an awe-inspiring 16,629 hours, we have Mac McQueen. One of my earliest memories of Mac was over at the build site on San Salvador, and he handed me a chisel and said, "Chip away at the mast, kid," or something to that effect. And it was really an incredible experience getting to volunteer over there, but it was really great having Mac to sort of take me under his wing and show me how to use these various tools and how to learn just the basics of carpentry. And Mac's incredible ability to welcome people, to teach, to inspire, has something that's been true as long as I've known him, which is now over 6 years. It's truly been an honor, a joy to get to work with Mac, to get to see the incredible things that he's brought to life out of spare pieces of scrap that we have in the shop. And he is just an absolute joy. Every time he comes into the office, he brings smiles to our faces. And it's been very difficult these last few weeks to not see him in the office. So very much looking forward to seeing you again, Mac, and want to thank you so much for all that you've done. You've been an incredible inspiration for all of us.
Mac, thank you so much for all that you've given us in this last year. Your commitment is amazing. In fact, you really remind me of the proverb, "Give the man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach the man to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. Because not only do you help us by making things for the boat, but when we need a tool to build something for the boat, you provide the tool too. Some of your most beloved tools, though, are the ones that you make for us by hand, the traditional things like fids and mallets. They're not just tools, they're pieces of art. And for many of us, they are the symbol of everything we love. We'll keep them as something that's sentimental to us, to remind us of our experiences on tall ships. So you've really added to the museum on every level and created works of art that are part of what we do. Thank you.
Mac has become a really good friend. He is a wonderful man. He has served this museum so well for so many years. Both he and his wife, Mary, have given their time and their talents. But Mac is kind of amazing. He's gone an extra mile in everything he's done. I really appreciate the fact that he does what he's done with regards to the store. He gave me rolling pins, breadboards, cheese cutters, you name it. He gave it to me so that I could sell them, and we made bank on those. And I really appreciate the time and effort that he did to put in all that good hard work. Thank you, Mac. You're amazing.
From our volunteers at the Butcher Boy build site, to our Swift Boat veterans, our librarians, docents, and crews, you are the wind to our sails and the heart of our fleet.
Hi, from the Maritime Museum. This is Susan Soretta, Vice President.
And this is Bill Dysart, Chairman of the Board.
And Ray Ashley, President and CEO of the Maritime Museum. So all of you who have been watching this to this point realize that all of our staff members, us included, love working with you, our volunteers. We get the chance to actually come here every day and work with people that could be anywhere, but they choose to spend their day with us. And every day that's really rewarding and fulfilling, and it's a part of our job that we think is most fun. And we're so much looking forward to having the museum restored to its former glory and have volunteers here all the time.
So not only is tonight or today about appreciating you and all the work that you've done so far to get us to this point and to say thank you, it's also about the future and how important it is for you to be a part of our future. We can't do any of this without you, as you've heard many times on this video, but it's really true. And in order to continue, we're going to be depending on you even more. So thank you for that as well.
And on behalf of the Board of Directors, I really want to thank you and appreciate all the efforts that all of you have put in. And we appreciate this time while you're standing by, waiting for the museum to open so you can return. We're greatly appreciative of all your efforts over the years. When I took over in January as chairman of the board, I certainly had no idea that we would have this kind of a tragic event for not only our country, our museum, and our nation, and the world, but nevertheless, we weathered it and we're coming out of it. And thanks to you all, and many of you have volunteered and worked during this pandemic, we greatly appreciate it, standing by and looking forward to seeing you on the museum vessels in the near future.
So before we close, we also want to thank the director of this production, Sarah. There you are. Great job.
Yay, thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Look forward to seeing you soon.